In case you're wondering, I definitely might have broken this. Probably even the first time out. Probably why I have no videos, because the first flight didn't last very long. But I think I can fix it. I already have a replacement fuselage right there. And if you're wondering what happened to the pilot, he didn't make it. Or she. I think we can get it all fixed up. I don't think this should be too hard. It is just styrofoam with 2 carbon rods, but one of the tricky parts about fixing something like this is that it's made of foam, so they keep everything together with clear Scotch tape, looks like, and super glue. Thankfully, some of the super glue is probably removed for us in the crash, but since this is gonna get replaced, I really shouldn't be too concerned with this. But some of the other surfaces like the wings or the nacelle fans that don't need to be replaced, probably gonna have indications of tape being removed. I kinda wish that the new one came with some of the decals, but yeah, it is what it is. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna use this going forward. Put tape in every section that has a drop of super glue on it. That way you know what sides are holding it in. That's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna reuse that. It's just that little bit of glue that's causing me the most amount of issues. There we go. Okay, got it. Ooh. Pretty. I feel like this is gonna be easier than I thought. With stuff like wire or whatnot, it's usually pretty good to leave some sort of mark so that you know what you disconnected goes to what thing. And I don't really know if it matters which engine goes to which. I'm gonna say maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It kind of depends on if this had thrust vectoring. But what you can do is, because this one goes this one, you can just leave a piece of tape on this one and a little piece of tape on this one, and then you know that the one with the tape goes together and the one without tape go together. That's off. Alright, we're gonna go a different direction. Since this has so much super glue and I can't guarantee that I can get all this off, we're actually gonna take the fans off and we're gonna put it on the new nacelle. That took seconds. This saved me way more time by just replacing the whole thing. Trash. And I know I just raved about how much glue was on this thing, but honestly, you need glue to keep things together. Get some tape to hold it in place. And I think with that, we are officially done with the nacelle for now. Now this part is probably among the more complicated and probably going to be the most time-consuming part. But, I mean, might as well get started. Looks like most of these rods just kind of go through particular hole, so we should just be able to unplug it somehow. Then the chips, like if I had ESD gloves I would wear them, but we are accumulating quite a bit of trash also, so we need to take care of that as we go. Thankfully if we don't need something, we just throw it away. As much as I don't want to also, we're gonna have to unplug the wings or the ailerons because these wires go right through this fuselage. Let me see if I can get you the new one here. They go right through it in here, and there's no way to route around it. You have to go through it. So we're gonna have to very carefully take one of those cables off, label the one with tape as the one being behind it, because there's no identifying marker in these bundles, so which side is which. And with that being said, we're going back to what frustrated me the most, and that is the amount of glue holding this thing together. It's styrofoam. It's such a painstaking process to cut along the edge and work your way from there. And then as soon as we're done, we have to take these little rods out. We have to take these servos out. Honestly, that's the easy part. The mind-numbing part is this super glue area right here. It's just, you know, I say stuff like that, and I know dang well that my curiosity and my boredom is going to overtake all my rational thinking, and then I will have this thing back in the air, crashed again, and then I will throw this in the garbage and never think about this hobby again. Oh no, it's backwards! No, I'm just kidding, it's pretty straightforward. So I got most of it put together already, but I won't lie to anybody. The level of frustration that I felt trying to get these J-hooks to where they want to go, trying to mount these little servos back where they're supposed to go, putting everything, just taking off all the glue, leaving lasting damage to certain areas that I didn't want to put any damage on. It is frustrating. You need to like really mentally prepare yourself before taking on this. It's just a lot of work. And then to top it off, we still have to put glue servos back where they go, tape the wires, make it look nice. There's still a little bit to go. Honestly, we're at the tail end, so it doesn't really matter too much already. But I'm just to let you know, this is quite the undertaking, quite a task to do all this stuff. Is it worth it? I don't know, man. You really must love flying. Would I do this again? Probably not. We are nearly officially done. And that is great because I am absolutely tired of this and I don't want to do it again. It was pretty crazy. With all the frustration that I had, we are very nearly done. The bottom's put together and so is the top. I'm gonna let it sit and dry, glue and tape certain choice areas just to make sure that they're nice and secure, and then I'm just gonna come back to it in a couple hours. Okay, repeat after me. I will not eat the plane while you're gone. You're an animal. You're probably gonna eat everything I leave lying around. Camera. So here's your servos. I tried to connect these exactly where they were, whether they are not or not. Where they are or aren't, I mean, we're about to find out. Everything looks like it's almost ready to go. I'm just gonna plug in those engines real quick, and then I'm gonna test out to see if the surfaces work the way they're supposed to. And I'm also gonna test out the engines. Overall, it came out pretty good so far. I went ahead and put the landing gear. I didn't record it because it's not really exciting. You just push them in there. Did a little more damage than I wanted to surfaces that I didn't want to replace. If you can focus like right there. I think we can maybe pretty this up with some tape, but I'm just probably not going to do that. I'm just going to let it ride as is. Let's plug in the engine. Please. Okay. Rudders. Okay. Let's see the ailerons. Left. Right. Okay. And the horizontal stabs. Yay! Everything works. Do a circle. It's good to see. Wait, landing gear 2. Doesn't turn a lot, but it turns enough to turn it. So I am happy. Everything worked exactly as it was supposed to. I could not be happier. And what is an airplane without a pilot? First check, we'll take this off this little makeshift stand that I built of tools to see if it wants it to stay forward. And it does, which is great because the last thing you want is for your airplane to tilt back. Another thing is that I've been told that those bullseyes represent right here, represent the weight and balance check. So the whole point of those is so that you're supposed to put your fingers on there and the plane's supposed to stay level like this. So that's another good indication that we didn't screw anything away by removing excess parts. So the fact that it's staying level like this with those 2 finger points, this is a beautiful, beautiful moment. Let me give you my post-build thoughts. And I know I said a lot of bad things about building this whole thing and how difficult it was, but overall, honestly, it wasn't that bad. I just complain a lot. A couple things I did notice is that because I removed certain things here and there, you can already tell that certain things aren't perfectly level, like your finger catches here. But honestly, the controls make it super easy to adjust the trim levels. I knew that going into it, stuff like the trailing edge right here on this horizontal stab, yeah, that's not level either. So neither is the front wheel, but we removed everything. It's a whole new fuselage. It's still gonna need some time to let that glue set before we fly it. It was a little more painstaking than I thought it was going to be, but we got it done. There's no seemingly big issues. There's some gaps here and there, but once the glue settles, it'll just take care of everything. Overall, this was a fun little thing to do, but I'll be honest, I will likely never do this again. If it breaks again, then it breaks forever. If it was one of those things where I was replacing the whole thing, basically the fuselage, the nacelle, the wings, the stabs here, honestly, it probably would have been very easy because you could have just ripped the old one and just put the new one together the way it's supposed to go. But because we had to preserve certain things, we had to take as much care as we could have, and even then, it really wasn't that much care. I'm gonna show you the tools that I thought I was gonna use. I thought I was gonna use some screwdrivers, some small ones like this one. I didn't. All I did was use some glue and a razor blade and scissors. That's it. That's all I used. I thought I was gonna use more tools, but the whole thing was pretty simple. One thing I probably would have done different is I probably would have worn safety glasses when I was trying to pry with this. I know you're not supposed to, but I was trying to be as careful as possible, trying to slice through certain areas. And you could kind of feel it flex. That's why I kind of got a little nervous, but that's why I switched to the scissors. And overall, it was a simple build. It wasn't that difficult. Everything turned out better than I thought it would. Basically, it looks as good as new. It's ready to fly again, in my opinion. But whether or not I'm gonna take that chance, I don't know. It depends. It's really hot outside, as everyone knows. But anyways, if you stayed until the end, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps somebody, because I know when I tried to find instructions for this, I couldn't find any instructions anywhere. Hopefully, if you're gonna do this yourself, my biggest thing is take pictures. If you're gonna take pictures, the videos really helped me because I had to look at how some of the surfaces hooked up. There's just hooks that have to go in a certain way. Rewinding the footage and actually going back to it really helped me. So my advice to you is when you take everything out, just take pictures. Also, when you're putting new stuff on there, you're gonna see certain grooves and whatnot. So when you're taking the old one off, cut around those grooves to make it easier for the install process so that it's a seamless fit. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.